Pound Town. I just left Pound Town. Welcome to another episode of Fun2Mental podcast. If you don't know who we are, just check our page. You probably here, so you know who we are already. But we are happy to have you once again. However, let's go to a more chill topic today because I'm really not in the mood to get serious. I didn't have dinner yet, so I'm hungry. I don't know what time this is going to be released, but I'm hungry.
People think I don't feed you now.
I don't think the first thing people are not concerned about is say, does your wife feed you? No, I don't think that it is. But what is the topic today?
Topic is personality versus looks.
I don't get the whole versus. Personality will take over. I don't care how you put it.
How so?
How so?
Yeah.
It's that simple. If you are a person that might not be the best looking or whatever, but your personality is on point, you are fun to be around with, you're somebody that's trustworthy and whatnot, whoever goes for looks first is gonna try to find that type of character in that person that has looks. And that's why you see a lot of men sometimes settle for somebody who is a 6 or 7, then stay with somebody whose looks are probably a 8, 9, or 10, but the personality is trash.
So, just out of my curiosity, can you date somebody based the looks are a 2 and the personality is a 7 or 8?
Personality is a 7 or 8?
Yeah.
That's a great personality. I don't think anybody has a personality that is a 10.
No.
So, because if you're 10, you're perfect. You might as well date Jesus, but I don't think he'll be okay with that. That's just you got to be perfect to be a 10. Mm-hmm. So, you said if the looks are what?
A 2.
Looks are a 2?
Yeah.
You got to be low to get a 2. 2 and the personality is 7. I mean, it depends. I think it's different for everybody what a 2 is. So I don't know what a 2 is.
Okay, you're a 2.
My 2 to a lot of people will be an 8. So
yeah,
it depends. No, but a personality is a 7 and it's a 2. I can actually be okay looking through it. I can look through the physical appearance, but it depends. Like being not as good looking, that is something that you can do about, comparing to not being, I don't know, having some type of level of hygiene and whatnot. That's not the same as looks, because you might not be as good looking, but if men like to be around you, or they would probably take you serious. It's just that there's always the social status. I think that's more concern for a woman to date somebody that looks are kind of compatible.
I think a lot of men too. That's why you have art candy and trophy wives and stuff like that.
It depends. It's only when you're rich, most of the time, when you're successful, you have a high type of status, that's when men start to worry about looks. Because sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes it depends on also the friends you hang out with. Because some friends know that she might not be good looking, but boy, she treats him good. A man, I think I saw it, Chris Rock. A man would probably not date a girl that's not that good looking, but if his friends come over and she says, "Oh, you guys are hungry, sit down and I'll prepare something for y'all." She might not be that good looking, but they're gonna walk out and be like, she might not be good looking, but I really hope I get somebody like that. Woman, on the other hand, if she comes around and she sees how I treat you, and I'm not saying that your friends are gonna do it, but women in general, they're gonna look like, I'm gonna take him away from her.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
So to me, is that men can look through personality. Personality is how you treat him. If you treat him like a king, it don't matter what people say, because eventually some men gonna pretend like, in our nature, we want to have a woman that everybody wants to have but cannot have. That's just who it is. But if there's nothing else out there but looks and no personality, a man, however, is gonna feel in some type of way to see, and then he's gonna hunt. He might hunt your girl to see if she's easy to get. That might happen. but I don't call those men. I call them boys. Only boys do stuff like that.
Yeah, I experienced that a lot because when I'm in a relationship, I'm really loyal. That's just who I am. And a lot of times when I, go outside and guys talk to me and I'm saying I have a boyfriend, or I ignore them straight. But if they're just, respectful, I would just say I have a boyfriend and then walk away. But a lot of times I hear when I walk away, yeah, but you cannot have friends, or, oh, he doesn't have to know, and this and that. And I'm like, that's really a B move. Like, why would you say something? I don't think you would like it if somebody tells your girl they don't need to know, or you don't have friends. Like, how can I be friends with you when I know your intentions are
But that's not the person. How are you going to become friends with somebody you don't know?
Yeah.
And that's the first sentence that comes out of that person's mouth. You know they don't want to be your friend.
No.
You don't.
It's just weird.
I always ask questions. Where you from? What do you like? Or how long do you know that person and whatnot? So you get a little bit of information or knowledge that how this person is. And you're like, yeah, I'm here and whatnot. Like, I met him through my boyfriend. I was like, okay, cool. How long do you know? I have your boyfriend, no matter what you're attracted to. And I ask these type of questions. It's really different when you actually want to know somebody genuinely and they bring up the relationship. And I'm like, okay, cool. I got a girlfriend. Maybe we can double date one day. That's fine. But at least you're both aware of who that person is.
Yeah, but your intention is literally just become friends. But
exactly.
You don't go outside and you go to the city and you see this beautiful girl and you're like, oh, let me talk to her. And you introduce yourself and she introduces respectfully, and and then you say, yeah, can I have your number? And I say, I have a boyfriend. And then she walks away. Then you're not going to say, oh, he doesn't have to know, or, oh, hey, let's be friends. Like, what? Like, now all of a sudden you want to be my friend?
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm a little too old of an old. I'm too much. I've always been an old soul for my age. So I'm 28 years old right now, but sometimes I feel like 40 because I don't know like how some of y'all operate outside when you want to talk to women. I mean, if you're a boy and you're a girl, you want to do your thing and y'all don't have experience, I get it. But I see guys that are literally like older than me and still don't know how to talk to women. Why are you talking to women like you're still in high school, nigga?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I had to talk to y'all. I have to get to y'all level so y'all can understand.
Please, guys, stop catcalling. We don't like that. That never works.
Do what?
Catcalling. Like shit like that.
I don't even talk to cats like that. I'm like, you come here.
Don't do that with a woman.
Ned, you don't see me go like, woman, come here. I like you. Where are you going? I can feel you from here. No, I don't do that. I don't do that. No, come on. Especially with this voice. Hey.
You scared them all.
No, that's my profession. But no, I'm not gonna do that. Never done that. I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's how I view it. I think a lot of men end up with women that they never thought they would date it, and sometimes it's the best choice that they made because it comes when you least expect. But personality will always take over looks, and I don't care how you put it. It might make you even more attractive, or sometimes it makes you less attractive. But I've seen it. A lot of women settle for looks first. And only when they fall on their ass a bunch of times, that's when they finally learn. And trust me, I've always been there talking about, girl, don't do this. It's not going to help you. But do they listen? Hell no.
Yeah, I went for personality once. For looks, once. And, people will consider him like a 7 and 8. And he turned out to be the biggest a-hole ever. Like, oh, it was so bad.
It was bad.
It was so toxic. I'm not saying I'm perfect or always being good, but he was also a narcissist. You can blame it, but so I definitely learned from that. I went then less for looks and more for personality. but even personality can change. Of course, you have your core personality that will always stay, that won't change as fast, but like around it, it can always change. So you should really take your time to know somebody and learn from me, because I'm a Leo, and I go fast into things, like running into the jungle blindly. So
and me as a Taurus, I had to get my horns and poke her a bunch of times. They're like, what the hell you doing? She still didn't listen. Out there roaring and roaring. And then she came back, and I was like, what did I tell you?
Yeah, it was right a bunch of times, but really.
No, she's roaring in the laughing way.
Oh, I got so distracted. I don't know what I want to say. Yeah, so take your time, really learn the person, and then, when you're compatible, the looks won't matter at the end of the day, and you really can have your person and have something really beautiful. And, so please take that advice from somebody who had to burn their ass a bunch of times before she figured it out. So yeah, that's my advice. Looks won't raise your kids. Looks will fade because everybody grows old and stuff. Okay, some people do look better when they age, but that's besides the point.
You gotta take care of yourself to look better.
Yeah.
I know I've seen some women that were like the elite of good looking in high school, and then I came across them and I was just like,
what happened to you?
What type of Morgan Freeman juice were you drinking? Because
no, but it's like in high school you have like the really popular girls or boys, and then you have like the non-looking person who gets bullies a lot, and then after high school it's like reversed, like they go down in looks, and the person who got bullied all of a sudden had this huge glow up and stuff.
This is what I see. Sometimes it's like this. And I can put myself in that category because I was always the average looking guy, or I was the guy that was just funny and nobody would have dated. And seems really strange. You know which women have the best glow up and feminine glow up? Tomboys. I'm telling you, that's just the truth. Tomboys later on, every tomboy that I was chilling with at school somehow became the most feminine woman I've met in my life later on. And I'm just like,
yeah,
we used to tussle all the time. And she's like, I didn't do that anymore, like nails done and whatnot. But eventually, one thing that was the coolest thing to see is that the personality never changed. There were always those people that always will talk to those who were outcasted. They always make people feel important. And if you have that and you have a glow up, yo, that's the pinnacle right there. However, if you've always been good looking, but your personality is doo-doo.
No, I had that because in high school, I was definitely the girl you would look over. I was like a tomboy, always baggy clothes and stuff.
You always fight. That's the thing. Like, even if I would have just, like, I got along with everybody. However, if I would say hi to her, we will have a WWE match.
No, listen, I have to explain. I've always been a calm person, and I don't like to talk much. Okay, I need to feel really, really, really comfortable for me to talk more or talk as much as I do. And in high school, they pick the girl that is quiet and stuff, and I was that girl. And they bullied me or tried me because they thought, oh, she's the quiet girl. She's not going to do nothing. She's gonna say nothing. And a bunch of times I've ignored it because it was hilarious to me because they didn't know what hell I went through at house, that what they throw at me was literally child's play. And I was like, come on, is that the best y'all can do?
See, this is why you have to be scared. When they say the quietest person in the room is the most dangerous one, she just used calm and then went to child's play. Y'all know Chucky, right? She's like, she is that type of, she was that girl in the class. She was like an anime protagonist. Nobody would be messing with her, and then she would drop one sentence like, well, da, 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 da. And then the whole fight begins. That's what she was.
I didn't. And sometimes they would step over my boundaries. Like, for example, I had a guy, I really had a bad day. And a friend of mine leaked kind of the guy that I was into or pretended to be into, because I was not really into guys as quick as everybody else. But because I wanted, my friend, she was into a boy. She always talks about boys and stuff. So I was like, let's just say that I like that guy just to make her feel better. I was that kind of person. And she leaked it to the whole school at camp. And everybody went after me like I was some Beyonce or something. Like, it was so annoying. The guy came to me, I don't want to date you. I was like, yo, listen, I'm not into you. It was just, I explained it to him. He was a really nice guy, so he understand and stuff. He's like, okay, great. And, you're a great girl, whatever. I was like, you don't even know me. But that's the thing. We came back to school and there was this guy in my class. And he was just teasing me about it. But I had a really, really bad day. So I told him, like, yo, please, not today. I have a bad day. Don't test me. Just let me be. But, Yeah. So then what happens, he sent another guy to say the same sentence. And he said, yeah, he sent me. And that was just, my bucket was already overflowing. So that was the last drop. And I just didn't even talk. I just go straight after him and just go in fight mode. Literally, like, the upper class had to take us apart and really had to drag me off of him. And he got teased by the upper class a lot for that. But so for me, it's like, you can't go far with me because like I said, I had worse at home. But if I say not today or leave me alone and you still try to push me, you can push me as far as you want, but I will come back and I will come back hard and you will not see it. So that's my problem. I have a short temper sometimes.
Sometimes.
So I'm temperamental. I'm not gonna lie.
Temperamental.
I have a temper. Like, yeah. Even though
if you was a guy who would throw punches a long time ago, she would be knocked out any minute.
Yeah. So, I never wanted to feed into their bullying or their comments and stuff, because I was like, yo, I'm not going to waste my time on you. And every time after high school, I met one of those girls who bullied me, or guys, they're all of a sudden into me or say, oh, yeah, you were so pretty. I don't know why we did that. I'm sorry, and stuff like that. So, it didn't leave an imprint on me, but just to be clear, it can ruin somebody's life and it can harm them. So please think before you bully somebody. But so, and then I turned up to have this huge glow up, and all the guys that were not even thinking about looking my way all of a sudden in my DMs, like, hey shorty, let me take you out and stuff like that. And I'm like, you didn't even want me at my tomboy area. You're not gonna get me in this area. I'm sorry. No.
Area?
Yeah.
Era,
same shit.
No, it ain't.
So, yeah, it's like, as soon as you become pretty or prettier, all of a sudden, the people give you attention that they would not even think about giving back then. Well,
but it makes sense. Person. You gotta understand, when people are kids, now the puberty doesn't hit on everybody. Some people get puberty on 23. Well, you expect people to like you. Kids don't know what beauty standard is.
Yeah.
So you cannot blame them for not liking you. Just like I can't blame the girls for not liking me.
I'm not blaming them, but I'm like, if you don't even get me at my worst time, why should I even think about dating?
That's something for grown-ups. This is not something for kids. Man.
Yeah, but maybe because I was already meant to be very grown-up in high school.
Yeah, but you cannot put them as somebody who's a child.
Yeah, that's true, but still.
But still nothing.
You have to love me at my worst. What if after that glow up, I had a glow down and decided like, okay, I'm just gonna, what you done gonna do?
Girl, they were 13 years old. What did they know about?
No, I mean like 15, 16, like not.
So I literally just said some people get their puberty at 27.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Wait, they're already putting They put expectations on a child. You can't do that.
I was a child myself. I can do that. No, but I mean, they come back when they're in their 20s and stuff.
Okay, so if you want to put demands on guys who were 13 and didn't know not anything, that probably discovered corn at 16. You up there asking like, hey, if you didn't look at me at my worst, what were your childhood crushes again?
Really, you're gonna throw that in my face right now? Really?
I didn't throw it at your face. You told me first, but that's just what I'm getting into. It's not a big thing, okay? It's not a bigger than it is. It's just she used to have a crush on, who was the guy? Owen Wilson?
I like funny guys.
It was not that funny.
Well, I thought it was funny when I was 12, okay?
Exactly. So now how would that make you feel now that I come across you like, that was your humor? Exactly. So it don't make sense if you put perspective on that, on those boys back then, and they did not know what a good looking woman actually is like. We don't know that beauty has different variations. We only assume that good looking is I don't know, who was somebody that was super good looking back then. There were a few women that are on the beauty standard. They're not black, for example. Somebody like I don't know, like a Jennifer Aniston or a Cameron Diaz, you know, a blue-eyed, blonde-haired. That's what it was. Like, the more fair your skin is, the more good-looking you are. That's the first you think of until you come across a girl that happens to be dark-skinned, that has to be the most beautiful woman you've ever seen. A lot of men don't see that.
Yeah, but beauty standard is not realistic at all.
It's just, no, but it's made due to some things that, like, if you have a tighter jawline, if you have some type of symmetric face, you just become more attractive. It's just that you get more attention from people. It's just that some beauty standards that they created, I believe that everyone has a beauty standard in some way.
Yeah, but some are really unrealistic. For example, like my stepmom, she's Asian. So I've grown up in that culture, and I've learned the beauty standards there are worse, like, than European or whatever. Like, it's really, really bad. And like, even if your skin is like a little bit darker, like, you're already considered
excluded.
Yeah. Or like, if your nose is not a certain like type, like small and stuff, and your eyes are not big, then it's like, it's this really like standard that you think like, why? Like, it's not realistic. And it's sad to see that some Asian girls really try to fit in there in that standard just to be looked at, and it's sad.
It's not just Asian. I think a lot of people, I've seen it a lot on black women, black men, bleaching their skin. I've seen also the whole new thing about BBL, you know, and that's funny because a lot of men don't demand a woman to do that. See, women just see that men sometimes are attracted to bigger butts, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's anything wrong with yours. But you just gotta accept who you are and realize that somebody will eventually like your little ass. That's just what it is. It's just that.
I think it's more than that. I think because we have like, you know, fashion standards that comes like, you know, a certain body type is really hyped right now. It's really in like the BBLs. There was an area that was like, it was peak, like the Kim Kardashians had it. Like, it was like peak. Everybody wanted it just to look like Kim Kardashian, you know, like, and it was like at a point more influencers got their body done and shown on Instagram, and they got, you know, sponsorships. They got a lot of fans. They were living the life basically that a lot of women want. And they thought like, it was not even specifically the male attention, but it's like, oh, if I get a BBL, I can get a life that she got, because I know I deserve it. So I'm gonna do that. And then they fly to whatever, Miami or whatever they're gonna do, jeopardize their life, because BBL is one of the top high risk surgeries of all time. They risk their life just to get even a life that maybe is not even.
See, but that's what I'm referring to. It's just that at this matter, a lot of women, majority of them blame that on men. But no man cares about your body so much to put you through hell for that. We'd rather have you change your personality or change your attitude towards a man than you do something about your body.
But
Because don't get confused. Just because a man wants to smash doesn't necessarily mean he's going to keep you. Y'all really need to know the difference about somebody being attracted to you for sex and somebody being attracted to you because he wants to be with you forever. Know the difference between the two, because I'm telling you, BBL, ZBL, or whatever other name is going to come up next, no man is going to stick with you because you are making your looks more important than your personality. And that's why some of them do these type of choices, and they all of a sudden say, how come nobody wants me? Because you changing you're putting the effort in the wrong place.
Instead of a BBL,
instead of a BBL, stop being so bitchy about it. Stop being so bitchy.
Yeah, but I do hear a couple of times that guys say the faker the better. So there are some guys who are really into that.
Okay, but who says that? Do you know those guys who say that? If you don't know them, then why you listen to their opinions in the first place?
Yeah.
It's the same thing when we do these games on Facebook, like click here and you go find out if you're going to be rich or whatnot. Or these tests like, we're going to do a psychological test. If you thought about carrot, you think like everybody else.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of thing.
A game decides how you think now?
Yeah.
Where are we living in? Like, everything that is important is set aside. And then y'all put effort on things that don't matter.
Because in this day and age, the looks are more important and go over personality. Like, if you think, and I'm not talking about like serious relationship, because if you have a serious relationship in this day and age, that's already very rare. Because
that's like a PlayStation achievement unlocked on gold, which is something that is supposed to be happening. It's just our nature, but y'all just so trying to fight the nature that is just yours, and that's the nature of this planet, and then end up realizing that that's not what y'all really wanted. So why not take time for yourself and realizing what is it that you really want, and one thing that you can be open-minded about? Because if you're going to keep dreaming that you're going to have somebody like Kim Kardashian, you're going to get somebody like Kim Kardashian. The Wish version.
Yeah. But I do see now this more changing, because I had a friend who was dating this girl.
She did?
No.
Oh.
She's not.
Sorry.
And she was really a naggy person, and calling constantly like, "Yo, where are you?"
We hate that. Chihuahuas.
Yeah, like constantly. Like, he cannot even just chill with his friends and not be bothered about the stupidest things. And he literally said to me, "I wish I had somebody just like you, just calm, and you don't bother your guy." And it was just not like, "Oh, I want to date you," but he was just so fed up that he's realizing like, this is not what I want. And I see a lot of guys go into that like they have this beautiful girl, like, that you would think, whoa, like how can you date them?
How find out their personality.
Yeah. And then you see them a couple of years later, and they're with this girl that is like, how they say, like, oh, he goes down, like, and then you ask them, what happened? Because you were dating this beautiful girl, and now you're with this, like, how what happened? And they say, yeah, man, she treated me like shit. Like, I came home from work, she was nagging me all the time, she was yelling at me all the time about things that didn't even matter. Like, I couldn't even have peace at my own house. Like, and now I'm so happy, we are expecting a child. I have the best girl ever. Like, I come home, dinner is ready. Like, and sometimes I even cook. I don't care about that, but she gives me a peace of mind.
This is the thing. In these things, men look for peace. And why is that? Because the world is too hard for us. And we cannot get empathy from nobody but men, if that. Because I'm telling you, when we are at the lowest, it doesn't matter if we are married. We don't talk to nobody. We don't talk to nobody. And this day and age is one thing. They looking for rewards as quick as possible for something that requires long-lasting effort. You want to be successful with your husband, your loyalty is going to be tested when a man has nothing. But his loyalty is going to be tested when he has everything. So the goal is still the same. It's just a different outcome. No, it's the same outcome actually, but it's just a different start. So when women have their struggles and men have their struggles, but a man is more prone to sympathize and empathize with a woman because he goes through enough. But a woman, just because he's a man, doesn't necessarily mean that he won't understand a lot of stuff, because he cannot walk in your shoes because he's a man and you're a woman. But the same thing was that women will never understand what it is to be on a man's shoes, because once a woman tried to do that, she killed herself. That's how heavy it is. But we don't make it a big deal about it. So the thing is, you're more prone to have peace because you protect a man spiritually. Ain't no other species that can protect a man spiritually but a woman. Just like a man has a nature that he knows how to protect you mentally and physically. These are the powers that we have. But the moment we accept that these are our powers and we can come together and coexist, there is no reason to basically go against each other. So this how important personality is, because y'all both get old. At the end of the day, we both get old and we die. But how do people remember you? Do they remember by how you look or by what you did and who you were?
Yeah.
That's just what it is. So I don't get these two things recently. Yes, women have rights, but don't forget that women have rights, and because men listened to them, it also gave them those rights. And the same thing goes for women, that how a woman raises a man at the house and how she treats a man at the house, and you as a woman give the example of how a woman should treat you, that's the type of wife he's going to look for. So it's two sides. So stop going against one another, because we might be different in some ways, because it's not many ways, in some ways, but we can still walk hand in hand. So that's why personality is super important, more important than looks, because looks can change, personalities can also change, but you don't decide when a person changes, but you have to be okay that both things can change. That's just what it is.
And take time to learn each other, because even how you can fake looks, you can fake personality. Because I had a girl that she dated this guy for 2-3 years, and this guy was a gentleman, gave her gifts, took her out, gave her expensive things, met the family. No. With the family, like, he supported her for 2-3 years, and she was in love. She's like, this was the guy I've always wanted. Like, he treated me so good. I want to marry him.
Right.
Yeah. And then they got married after 2-3 years. And then he became abusive.
All right.
So, and after, and that went on for years. And then I saw her the other day and I asked, I said, no, I'm divorced. And it was really bad. And she explained to me, and it was horrific. And she said, I asked her, but after 2 years, if you think about it, would you marry him? She said no, because I didn't really know him. I only knew what he did for me. But
that's what things, people fall in love with what people can do for you.
Yeah.
You see, I fell in love with you not because of the things you could have done for me. I fell in love with you because I know who you were, despite of acting tough. So it's like, I always told you, you were like a jawbreaker bubble gum, like super hard on the outside, but super soft on the inside. And I already saw that. It's just that I knew whoever that person was on the inside, I wanted to know it. Never thought I would fall in love with it, but that's who I wanted to keep with. And as long as people realize that there's nothing wrong with taking time. If there's one thing that society and social media is telling you, is that everything has to happen fast. But you know what the problem is? Sometimes when you run, you get tired or you stumble and you fall. Because this is the biggest currency that we have in our lives, is time. Because they keep saying life is short. Nah, bro, life is long. And I'm happy that I get to die, because that's what makes life precious.
Yeah.
If you live there forever, bro, why do you need to worry about making something out of yourself? Yeah. Well, however, your path, his path, whoever's path is not meant to be the same. Just because somebody made at 28 doesn't mean it's going to live long to see 40. Just because somebody made it when he was 30 years old or less doesn't mean that he's less than somebody else. You decide what you want. They are teaching you the wrong things, and this is why till this day people hate people who tell the truth, because truth is not there to console your feelings. People just like the truth that is beneficial for them. But truth is truth, and that's not going to change. So keep that in mind. Take your time. Realize that this person is not the only person, but you going through bodies is not going to help the situation. Because the more you do it, the more it's going to be hard for you to commit to one person, because you're going to look for every little thing that you had in your past relationships into one person. Till you realize that person is non-existent.
Listen, I know that a lot of people have this list in their head how their partner should be. Let me tell you, it's not Build-A-Bear. It's never going to happen. It will never have everything on that list. Just pick the important ones. And when you find a person that is, for example, you have very loyal or some type of loyal way that you want in that person, or caring, just stick with those important qualities, and everything else, scratch it off the list, because you will never have a person that is 100% of your list.
If you want to make a list about what you want to, and manifest and assume that you have it. These are great things to do, but it's a human being we're talking about. I've seen people doing the most dumb things because they are so eager. But I think this is a male and a female ego, because men, on the other hand, let me tell you what the real thing is when it comes to personality. Submission is not about surrendering to your partner. It's a matter of trust. If you have a hard time surrendering or submitting to your partner, it's because you don't trust them enough. That's just what it is. And then it goes back to the female ego. A lot of women do not fall in love with the good side of their partner. Most of the time it's the vicious side. But to feel special, they hope that they can tame that vicious side of their husband, who they are attracted to. So the thing is, you cannot accept that fire eventually will give you water if you're thirsty. And that's just the reality. So I don't know who's been telling you all that stuff. It's great to have fantasies and whatnot in your head that don't exist, but don't end up disappointed if that don't happen. Us men, we've been taught since we were kids, like, you will not have it all, because having it all is subjective to everybody. And everybody talks about find your happiness. Yes, happiness is also subjective. But what does everybody want? It's peace. Everybody wants peace. So
and freedom.
Yeah, so screw. Like, if you have peace, you have freedom.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just that we've been focusing on the wrong things. And despite of things happen quickly and all of that stuff, because we come from the 95, and the way the world has changed in a short period of time, this has not even been 50 years or 30.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to break it down like this. It goes too fast. And the only thing that they're telling you is not to take your time. That's all that they're telling you. It's competitive back to back. It's women competing against each other. It's men competing against each other. I'm telling you, just because it's a men's world, it don't make it easier for us. it's even harder sometimes because you think that it's your brother until he stabs you in the back and you see something that is more beneficial for him, you know? And so, yes, we need each other in this world, you know, spiritually. It's Mother Earth. It's not Father Earth. You know, it's Mother Earth and it's Father Time. And I don't see none of them arguing with each other. So I don't know why this whole dispute about men and women are. Just realize what your purpose is and what your responsibility is in this world. And the rest is history, I guess. That's just how I look at it. Sick and tired of beefing with women and whatnot. It's just when you realize you want the same power as a man has, but don't want to take accountability for it.
I'm the same for women. It's hard to live in a man's world because you've been seen as an accessory. So we have both our struggles, but instead of, put it against them like, oh, women are this and oh, man is this and hating each other, we should think about coming together and make this a better place for the next generation.
And that's the thing. The moment you think about women are not accessories, women are anchors. Women are anchors. I don't care how you put it. Women are anchors. And you need something to keep you in some place when things are too wild. Men can survive among each other, but you cannot live if you don't have women. That's just what it is. You push each other to become better, and that's just what it is. Women are anchors, they're not accessories. Just like how we can build a boat, but if you don't have water, what are you building the boat for? Yeah. Women are water. We don't have water in this earth. What happens?
It's dry.
Just a little thing to inflate your egos. You know y'all like that.
So I think it's a good moment to end this episode on this beautiful token that you gave us that we are water on this earth.
Well, see, I told you. That works like that, gentlemen.
I just wanted to say thank you for watching. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And we see you to the next video.
See you next video. I'm really hungry. Well, let's go eat.